Good morning. So today I'm gonna take you through a back workout. On my YouTube channel, I got a chest and a shoulder workout. Today's gonna be back. The reason why I do one muscle group at a time in my workouts is just because over the years, I've gotten way better results just focusing on one thing during that workout. So today's workout will be all back. If you're one of those people that can only work out 2 to 3 times a week, I would recommend hitting 2 muscle groups or even 3 in one workout. So for example, like today we're gonna be doing back. You're simultaneously working out your biceps as well, just because you're doing a lot of pulling motion. So if you can only work out 2 to 3 times a week, if you're wanting to work out your back, let's say you wanna do 6 exercises total, I would recommend doing 4 exercises that hit your back because it's a bigger muscle group. And then the last 2 exercises focus on the biceps, just because your biceps are gonna be working while you're doing pulling motions to hit that back. However, if you're one of those people like myself, if you work out 5 to 6 times a week, if you haven't tried working out one muscle group a day, I would recommend you try it, just because I've gotten really good results over the years just focusing on one thing. That way you know your workout is not gonna be too long. I usually in and out of the gym or the studio about 1 hour 15, depending on my rest. And also, I always do my workouts, not always, but most of the time, supersets. And remember, supersets are just you're doing 2 exercises back to back with no rest. So for example, today we're gonna start with a dumbbell low row, 10 to 12 reps on each arm, and then we're gonna go straight into a band low row, 15 reps, or a TRX low row if you have a TRX. So 2 exercises back to back, and then you earn that rest before you start your next set. So what I want you guys to think about on a low row, dumbbell low row, 1 arm at a time, is you can go a lot heavier than you think you can. I always tell our members, pretend like you're trying to pull a loved one from a cliff, right? Because you can pull heavier weights than a lot of you think you can. Try to shoot for a minimum of 30 pounds. If you got a luggage or something heavier in the house, grab it and then pull it. Even if you get 8 reps instead of 12, you want to be able to pull heavy weights, because you never know, you know? Also, when I do these reps, pay attention to how I let the dumbbell take me down to stretch my lat a little bit before I pull it back. Okay, you don't want to have your shoulders come forward, right? Keep your shoulders back, but let the dumbbell take you a little bit to stretch that lat and then pull. So it looks like this.
Pull forward. Thomas Edison conducted 1,000 failed experiments. Did you know that? I didn't know that. Because the 1,001st was the light bulb. Pull forward.
Right? So you're squeezing after each rep. Every time you pull to the peak, hold, squeeze 1 second, and then let it take you down. After that low row, 10 to 12 reps on each arm, you're going a superset. So tie a band to something, right? So then you're gonna be sitting, chest up, shoulders back. Low row, elbows, graze your rib cage, hold, squeeze, and then let that band take you back. Stretch those lats out a little bit. Pull, squeeze. Slow retraction of the band. Pull, squeeze. You got 15 reps to superset that low row with. Remember to focus on that squeeze. So after 3 sets of that low row with the dumbbell and with the band, we're going into some upper back, right? Some rear shoulder, upper back. So we'll do a dumbbell, high row, a little bit lighter on the weights on the high row, and then we'll do a band high row. Remember, if you got TRX straps at your house, you can always do the low row and the high row with the TRX straps. I'm just not gonna demo it just because a lot of people don't have TRX straps. A lot of people have bands. So high row, I would recommend anywhere from 10 to 20 pounds, depending on your fitness level, just because you have to stay in that hinge. You have to hinge the hips, chest up, shoulders back, and then elbows come high and wide, okay? 10 to 12 reps. So high row, set yourself up, right? Chest up, shoulders back, tip of the hip, palms face you, elbows come high and wide. Squeeze at the top.
I was a
Arms
1.8
will form a
GPA.
90-degree angle.
And the University
At the end of that
of
squeeze.
suggested that it might be better to take some time off.
Again, focus on the shoulders
I
being
was
back.
7 years old.
Chest is
I
up.
was at my lowest.
Right? That way you have a
And
flat
then
back.
one day, and I remember the exact day, March 27th,
Focusing on that
1975.
squeeze.
I was helping my mother in her beauty shop. My mother owned a
At the
beauty
top
shop.
of that movement.
Up till this day, I couldn't see.
From that dumbbell high row, you're going straight into a band high row. Same concept. Chest up, shoulders back, elbows high and wide. 90 degrees. Squeeze.
And
Control.
I'm encouraged by what I see.
Keep that tension on that squeeze.
By what I see.
Notice I always hold 2 to 3 seconds,
It's not just about going for a
putting
job.
pressure on the
It's
muscles.
also about knowing what you know and what you don't know. It's about being open to people.
Keep the shoulders back, chest up, tension. The next exercise I have is just by itself, is a deadlift.
Explain.
Deadlift is probably one of the best exercises you could do for your body, just as far as from strength, explosiveness as well. Try to do your deadlifts slower, right? Especially if you're doing dumbbells or like heavy luggage, and then you're going into a deadlift. For those of you that have like mini gyms at home and you got like bands and things like that, and you're working on power, then yeah, you can come back a little bit quicker, depending on what you're working on. But typically, a lot of people have back pain, and it's just from, you know, sitting at work, things like that, and they think they should stay away from movements like deadlifts or back. But the whole point is, I've had a bad back my whole teenage life, and I always thought that too, but you just need to strengthen it. That's all it is. Just make sure you keep your chest up, shoulders back on these deadlifts. So deadlifts, very important. Just roll your shoulders back, especially if you slouch like I do. So set yourself up for success. Feet just under your hips, okay? Palms face you, roll your shoulders back. Slight bend your knees, now slow. Tip of the hip, let the dumbbell slide down your legs. Mid shin is your stopping point. Now from here, focus on, as you rise back up, on that squeeze of the lower back. Slow and control down, feel in your glutes and hamstrings, and rise up and squeeze that lower back.
I thought it was good.
Good.
I'll never forget one day.
Keep your eyes
Mr. Schultz was very kind.
at one point on the floor, if it helps you
And this
stay
was no exception. And I'm glad he
central
was
and
blunt.
keep
There's a
that
lot of
body
guys if he hadn't been blunt.
in line.
One day
This
we
last
were
back exercise,
standing in the need of
we did just a different kind of a low row. So this one is a single arm low row. So we'll do a relatively heavy weight depending on how fatigued you're feeling. But I want you to focus on this one's gonna target your biceps a lot more than the other back exercises, just because of the angle and the turn we're gonna be doing. So single arm reverse low row, palm is gonna be facing away from your body,
what happens.
and then we're gonna turn it to a neutral grip as we squeeze, right? So as we squeeze, it turns our neutral grip, but as we extend, palm faces up, and it's gonna stretch that bicep a lot more, so you'll feel it in your bicep a lot more. Come up, neutral grip, squeeze. Okay, single arm low. Remember, it's the same concept as a low row and a deadlift. Same position, chest up, shoulders back, hinge of the hip, flat low back, palm faces away from you. Okay, palm faces away. As you pull, palm, neutral grip, squeeze, and then control as you extend down, feeling that stretch in that bicep. Control in the descent,
Happen, right? Everything can happen. I've heard
Up,
all the stories.
squeeze.
I've been one of the stories.
10 to 12 reps.
Hey, we could all tell stories all night long, right?
On each arm.
Names.
Focus on your back being nice and flat. After we finish the back workout, we're gonna go into just a mini core circuit. So all 3 exercises are superset. So we're gonna do back to back to back. We'll do an oblique crunch, 10 to 12 reps each side, hitting the obliques. Then we'll lay down, we'll do 30 sit-ups, body weight, and then we'll raise our legs up to the sky and it will toe reach 30 reps. Back to back to back, 1 set, 3 sets, and you're done. So oblique crunch, grab that dumbbell,
That's the difference in how
chest up, shoulders back,
What happens? It's what you do.
core nice and tight. You gotta let this side with the weight take you down to about where your knee is. Feel that stretch in the oblique, and you're gonna rise up and tilt and squeeze. Think like a teapot, right? Squeeze, control back down. Notice chest is up, shoulders back. As you come down, up, squeeze.
It's gonna be the same.
Working on those love handles and those obliques. 10 to 12 reps each side. After the oblique crunch, straight into regular crunches. So laying down, heels firmly planted on the ground, tighten that core. As you come up, squeeze, and then control your descent.
When you got favor on
The
your
slower,
life, what
the
you
better.
grown into,
Up,
you will
squeeze.
always rise to the top.
Control,
I'm gonna tell you something.
feel that resistance
You gotta have
of that gravity all the way down. We got 30 reps.
Here.
Once we finish 30, toes straight up, reach 30 reps.
You really do, man. If you want to be successful.
Really burning out that
It's
core
gonna be
option,
about
just
trying.
tuck the knees
You
in
have to have a
and then reach. Remember, going from one exercise to the next. Oblique crunch, 10 to 12 reps each side, straight into crunches, and then toe reaches. That's one set, you got 3, let's finish strong. So that's your back and core workout. Remember, if you're one of those people that works out 5 to 6 times a week and you haven't done one body part, muscle group at a time on a certain day, give it a shot. If you're one of those people that does really well by focusing on one task at a time, this will work awesome for you, just like I am. If I try to do 3, 4 things at a time, I make a lot of mistakes. So I just know if I'm focused on one group of muscles that day, I can really focus on that tension of that muscle. And it's a lot of volume throughout that workout. You're doing, 2 exercises back to back without rest, and then you're resting, and then you're doing 3 to 4 sets. It's a lot of volume for just that one muscle group, that if you hit that muscle group, let's say once a week, you're definitely not gonna get that much volume. So give it a shot. Let me know what you think.